All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
On Sunday, on Sunday I woke up and I was like, not like terribly hungover, but I was super sleep deprived from the weekend. Like I stayed out super late on Friday night, super late on.
Your whoop was like 2% recovery, by the way.
Yeah, it was
I
low.
did catch that.
Mainly from lack of sleep, and also on Saturday night when we were out, because I was like kind of outside most of the day on Saturday, I was like kind of beat from the sun, and then also had just allergies. Like, you know how sometimes like that when your allergies just hit.
Yeah, it makes everything worse.
And you just can't stop sneezing.
Yeah.
Like I was at that party and I literally was like trying to find corners to sneeze in. So I was like exhausted on Sunday. And I woke up and I was like, it's such a nice day.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I got to do something. And I ended up meeting
Besides ignoring my text to go drink, by the way.
Yeah.
I invited you to watch the Laker game.
Yeah.
Shout out, Lake Show, game 2 tonight.
This is what happened. I woke up and I like drank some water, like woke myself up, and a buddy texted me. He asked me that I play flag football with. He asked me if I want to go like run routes or something. And I was like, all right, I got to do something. Like I got to work out or run around. I got to do something. And we went up to Riverside Park and did that for like an hour or two. And it was just beat, like was slow. It was hot out, like 90 degrees.
Jesus.
And then I get back. I'm like, I leave at like, get back here at like 2 or 3, and I decide I'm just gonna shower and then like relax and like cheat day, just eat bad food and whatnot. And literally I think we ordered pizza and I had about half the pizza down or 3/4 of the pizza down when I got your text, and I immediately like just regret it. I knew there was no way I was gonna be able to like I could have made it, but I wouldn't have been like fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, like we talked about, it's maximizing the Sundays, but I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know if it was because of that or because Saturday we got into shenanigans that like I was a shell of myself come Monday. Like I could not get anything productive done.
Yeah. How late did you guys stay out late or no?
We weren't out too late, but we had just like a packed day. We started drinking early and then went to Comedy Cellar and Gitano and just like had a session. Ray Romano came out. Pretty solid showing.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, I mean, like just a full on day. And then like Sunday was just like probably put down like 6-7 Aperol spritz throughout the day. Had friends in town and ended up getting just like, I mean, I felt fine, which is probably the problem. Like we've normalized drinking so much, like 7 spritzes, a beer, and like 2 other cocktails is like, I was fine. Had pasta, like ended up getting like 10 hours of sleep, but was still like couldn't move on Monday.
Yeah.
So very classic.
Well, I thought of, it made me think of something though. Whenever we're both in town and it's nice on Sundays, we should like plan ahead to like do stuff like that. Like a Sunday afternoon, like a 3 to 6, make it out somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we should like go a different place each week. And we could even like make little videos or like review it on here or something like that.
I'm down. I just have told myself, I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Anytime it's a nice Sunday, it's sunny out.
Make a pact.
Yeah.
Scoundrel Sunday.
And nothing crazy, like a 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. type thing.
So this is the new thing. Now that the weather's getting nice, I'm thinking picnics on the west side, like regularly. Like
yeah, I'd be down for that too.
Like, you know, I mean, a little bit of Aperol, just keep the booze flowing. Like we just get a crew together. It's super easy right now.
Yeah.
Even though like June is the travel month.
Yeah.
Like everyone leaves town, but we'll see. Summer of New York.
There's that new, that little, Brian or Herb went to check out the little island place.
Dude, yeah, it's so hard to get into.
Yeah, he said the secret is you have to go, you can walk in whenever you want if it's before noon.
Yep.
So you have to get in there before noon, and then they won't kick you out. Yeah. So once you're in there, you're in. But besides that, you have to like book ahead, and apparently it's like
they've been sold out for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I looked and it's just like, basically I'll probably cruise over there Friday before noon and just like check it out, I think.
Yeah.
Plan.
But we should just pick a different spot every Sunday.
Yeah.
And then it would just be a good way to explore places.
I'm very interested. That's my like, maybe this summer will be New York exploration summer.
Yeah.
Go see like Governor's Island. There's a lot of places I want to check out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it can be. Every Sunday we do something different.
Love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Scoundrel Sundays.
I just wanted to verbally commit to it.
Should we start blogging it? Maybe we'll make
yeah,
it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
channel.
I've been looking for something to, maybe we could make, I need to learn how, but like make little TikToks or something of every Sunday place we visit. Do like little reviews. Like, I think people would like that.
Would you
I think people are always looking for like a place to hang out on Sundays. It's easy to find a place on Friday or Saturday night, but Sunday we're looking for a vibe, you know? Like, to be honest, I don't really care that much about like how good's the food or what kind of drinks they have. Like, I'm looking for a little bit of a scene.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm with you.
So we can just try to find a Sunday afternoon scene.
I love that.
And it's a little bit harder when it's not like football season.
That's yeah. Well, I mean, get playoff basketball.
Yeah, playoff basketball. Yeah.
Due West was a good vibe. There's a lot
Yeah.
going on there. Yesterday, I guess Sunday.
Yeah.
There's a ton going on. So, I mean, you can find them out there. Like, West Village was alive and well Sunday. Like, you could find something anywhere. Even if we just do like a casual brunch, like, I think you're hitting a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like Agave, Rosemary's, like, there's a ton of places you can make into a good spot.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel too, it's like the earlier you drink, the better. Like, this is kind of what I was saying. I think like this weekend taught me Sunday taught me this. My takeaway from Sunday was stop doing so much so late. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get home till like 8 or 9. Like,
that's not terrible.
It's not, but like, all I wanted to do when I got home was sleep, where it's like, you know, you kind of want to wind down. Like, there was some stuff, like, I think I left, like, I just didn't do any of like my meal, like any responsible stuff. Like, and then Monday came and like hit me like a ton of bricks. And I just like, basically it was a throwaway day. So I'm just thinking, I feel like start earlier, maybe end earlier, call it time.
Yeah. I'm here for it though. Like, we just need to, if I know, I'm also going to move cheat day to Monday, so I'm not tempted by that.
Ooh,
you know,
love that.
And then
I found that Monday is my slowest day of the week.
Yeah,
by far. I don't know if it's catch up from Saturday usually or what, but Mondays are deadly.
Yeah, I usually use Monday. It can be slower, but I use it as a get ahead day.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Feel that. Well,
yeah. All right. Cool. From now on, Sunday afternoons, different place every Sunday. None of the same place, and we can start
docking it. Like jotting down places to go, and then create a new spot.
We'll get recommendations from people, and then we'll rate them.
Part of our summer of yes. Ooh,
yeah,
there we go.
I like that. All right. Anyway, moving on. We got several requests this week to talk about the Tinx Box Theory. I'll explain for people who don't know what it is. I'll play the video.
This is my theory. When men meet you in a romantic setting, they put you in a box. Either they want to date you, they want to sleep with you, or they want nothing to do with you. It's very difficult to shift from box to box. And your behavior doesn't really affect what box you're in to a guy. So if he meets you and he's like, I want to date this girl, you could puke on his shoes and sleep with him on the first night, and it wouldn't matter. Vice versa, if he meets you and he just wants to hook up, you could make him wait 3 months to sleep with you. It's not going to change that. Women are so different. We meet a guy and we're like, oh, he's just for fun. And then 3 weeks later, we're sitting down to brunch with our friends being like, so I'm thinking about Tuscany for our wedding. Developed this theory because for the years I've noticed with me and my friends, it doesn't matter when you decide to sleep with someone. And I get asked this question all the time, Tinx, how long should I make him wait? What about the 3-date rule? What about the 5-date rule? Sleep with him when you are ready. Waiting to sleep with someone doesn't guarantee that he's going to view you as relationship material. Again, sleep with him when you are good and ready. That's the only thing that matters. And don't worry about it.
So what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on Tinx first?
Is she from LA?
No, she's from, she grew up in the UK actually, and then went to Stanford. Stanford.
Because she has hot takes on like San Francisco and New York.
She lived in San Francisco and New York and LA.
Okay, because that's why I'm like, I keep hearing stuff from her from all over, and I don't know. I just feel like it's a very like basic. I don't love her because I feel like her take is a very basic take on things, and is a poor representation of like every place.
Well, I think the white space. I think how she got so popular is. When TikTok first came out, it was a lot of younger kids. It was a lot of dance videos, and she kind of was the first mover on the.
The mic and the like images moving. She was one of the first.
She was the one of the first, like millennial, like basic like comedy, like female oriented, like you know what I mean.
I mean, I think it's more of like, I don't resonate with it because I think a lot of her hot takes are very women specific. And so like,
Yeah, they are.
she'll come off as like, I'm kind of like, you're like that basic stereotype playing on what the generic stereotype is off of like overheard in the marina if you're San Francisco, or like overheard in New York. I'm like,
Yeah. That's
come
what
up with
she is.
original shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
come up with personal experiences of like, not like I'm going to go to Balboa Cafe and like that's a San Francisco spot. But
Yeah.
it's like shit like that where I was just like, I don't know. In my mind, I was like, you're just kind of like, it's funny, but because I think you're tired. Like tired as in like you're lame.
Yeah.
I think if that's just, that's
Yeah,
my
I
take
get
on it. I didn't love her, but she's been shared to me by probably 5 women, I would say, or more.
Yeah. I like her. I think she's
I know
funny.
you like
I think she's funny.
By the way, never
But
mind,
what do you think? Do you put women into boxes?
Do I personally put women into boxes? It was weird because watching that video, there's definitely some familiarity.
Yeah, there's definitely some truth to it.
I think there's definitely something about, like, I think when you first meet somebody, you definitely put them into a few different boxes or categories, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely, like, you meet that girl, and I compare it to, like, sometimes you see a woman and, like, time stops, it almost feels like, right? And, like, people have this, it's, like, a known thing, and it's not so much a soulmate, but it's, like, you just find someone who, like, tunnel vision, they're the only one who matters, and it's, like, I would say that person is usually the, like, relationship one. And then you've got, like, obviously a woman that something about her is attractive, and that's the one night stand. And there's a woman who, like, has a general characteristic that you identify with that you find as a quality characteristic that's, like, the friend box. And so, like, as long as, like, her sexuality doesn't supersede what makes her cool in your mind, then you put her in the sex box. Unless she's, like, so fucking cool that you guys identify on, like, what? She eats, like, she burps and, like, eats hot Cheeto. Like, she can scull a beer, and she's, like, I don't know, just basically rattled off the Knicks starting 5 and all of their statistics. Okay, like, maybe, like, you're teetering on the cooler side instead of the, like, I want to sleep with you side. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's so, like, that kind of stuff. But, so, yes, to answer that question, I do believe the boxes exist. But that could be because men think just very one-dimensionally.
Yeah.
Back to, like, our Cro-Magnon days where it's, like, hunt, fuck, reproduce, sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be because of that. We're just simple creatures. We're like,
Yeah. I think
women psychoanalyze everything.
Yeah. I think I have three boxes. Like, when I heard that, I think of it 3 ways when I meet someone. I'm either, like, not interested, or interested when it's convenient.
Yeah.
Which I think is, for her, it's like the hookup box, and then interested enough to pursue.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's how I think of it.
Wait, sorry. So repeat the 2 boxes. It's
Interested, not interested, interested when convenient,
got it.
and interested enough to pursue.
Ooh, okay.
You know?
Yeah. So it's pretty similar.
Yeah. I think that's how I kind of think of it in my own head. You know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like really into someone when you're like at the same bar or the same party with them.
Yeah.
And then you leave and it's like, oh, I could, you know, I don't really need this.
Yeah.
And then there's other people where I'm like, I want to text this person and try to make time to hang out with them.
100%.
You know, that's how I think of it. I don't necessarily like, I don't think I ever put anyone in I really want to be in a relationship with, like, that has to come over time.
Yeah.
But I definitely put them in would pursue, like, would go out of my way to make time for them.
That's a fair point. But I think you can kind of tell early. So I think you asked a good question, which is the fluidity of the boxes. Like, can you move between boxes, or are you static?
Yeah. I think you definitely can.
I think so too.
I think it's a little hard, but I definitely think you can.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, in my own life, I think I know girls in my own life who have moved from box to box, but it all comes with time and getting to know them.
Yeah, no, I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is like, how many times have we seen situations where, like, a guy 1 minute is like, they're just hookup buddies, and then next thing you know, they're in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, it happens.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's too crazy. Do you believe in the friend zone for dudes, though? Like, can you automatically delegate a woman to a friend zone as they do to guys, and like they're stuck there forever. There's nothing they can change.
I think the friend zone is all. For me, it's when I like someone, but I'm not like attracted enough to them to like want to cross that line. You know, like even if I am like I can think someone's attractive, but my desire to hook up with them is less than my want to keep them like in my friend
Should have
group.
brought one of the girls on to like hear their ideas on this, because I think too it's like, I think it works both ways, right? Like I think women also predetermine a guy being in the friend zone. Like the friend zone is a thing because like kind of what you're saying, it's like you're attracted to somebody's qualities but not attracted to them physically, that draw you guys together in the same manner, both sides, that make you guys, that you just decide like, hey, I love you, I want to be friends with you. You're just not who I want to spend my forever with for X, Y, Z reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true too. Do you think Tinx is right about it doesn't matter when you sleep with someone, whether it's the first night or 3 months later, it can't move you into a different box?
No, I think it's the same as the other one. I think it's a similar situation. I think more times than not, if you have the predetermined box, they're probably not going to move after sleeping with you, whether or not they decide to.
Yeah.
But there's obviously instances, right? Like there's going to be times where like, actually no. Yeah. If you have it predetermined in your head that you're probably not going to pursue somebody, they're not going to move most likely. Like even if they wow you in the bedroom, it's usually within the first kind of like getting to know them, maybe morning talk might shift it. Maybe you get to think that they're cooler and you want to hang out for a second date and they become someone you want to pursue. But like realistically, I think you kind of know off the bat. You got to think it doesn't happen very often. I mean, it's happens, but doesn't always happen. Like by the time you take someone home to sleep with them, you've had a multitude of conversations with them.
Not necessarily.
I would like to think that you've had like there's some work that has to be done. You know what I mean? Like very few instances that I know of that someone's just like, let's go. Point me you, vamonos. But like, it does happen obviously, but it's just like one of those things where I just think like, in those conversations, like you kind of also filter through shit to be like, okay, you're in that in between. Like, are you person I'm pursuing, or are you person we're figuring like I'm having fun with? You know what I mean? Like, there's the time to navigate by like talking to them and like working through it.
Yeah.
In my mind,
I don't know.
You got to fish through all the bullshit.
I have a hot take. I think that I get more attracted to girls that like sleep with me super quickly.
Ooh.
Because well, I think it might be a me thing, because I think when you sleep with someone quickly, there's a certain like risk factor to it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like it's spontaneous. It's like a little bit maybe against the norm. And like that's kind of how I am a little bit, and I identify with that kind of behavior. Yeah. And I think the secret to it, like I think from a girl's perspective, I think how you hook the guy in, I think it's about how you act in the morning. Like I agree. If you wake up,
I will tell you, but I will say that there's something to be said for sex chemistry too, right? Like if sex is shit,
too.
It's you're out. Like you're gonna be uninterested, and like in the back of your brain, you're like, just go. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That'll knock you out of a lot of boxes if it. But if there's like not if it's necessarily, friends. I don't want to say if it's bad, but if there's just not chemistry.
Yeah, if there's no sexual chemistry, they can still make the friend box.
Yeah. But I think the way you wake up in the morning is big. Like if you can wake up and you're like joking around, and if there was something awkward throughout the night, like you call out and just make a joke about it, and you're kind of like I'm real chit chatty in the morning, kind of.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm super chit chatty in the morning.
Okay.
And like if you're like that too, and like to me, I think that's what's hooked me in the past before.
So like I'm kind of similar in the sense that like I wouldn't say I'm chit chatty, but like I'd like to make sure that like I don't know, the idea of a woman feeling like she's just being used for sex is, I think, a fucked up feeling. And so like I try to make sure that like it's been a while, but like try to make sure that like when we have that, if I were to have that conversation, it's mostly around like just kind of respectful, cordial, like being a good person, because like you don't want any person to feel shitty about like anything they've done, right? Like 2021, we're all like millennials, and this is like the age of all this shit of like sexual awakening and all this shit. So like, you know, nobody should be shamed for figuring out themselves and like figuring out what they want to do and like who they are. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where I agree with you. Like, but a lot of that, you know, chit chat spurns from like a place of respect, but also like it's an opportunity to kind of understand our compatibility and like who you are and like maybe maybe the other person doesn't remember your name or they don't remember the
and that's totally fine. Like
you guys laugh about it because they're like, oh, I don't remember your name. You don't remember my name.
Anyone who wakes up from like a first time hookup, and especially if it was like, and it is just like positive and like a good energy in the morning, like that goes, to me, that personally goes a really, really long way.
Yeah. I mean, like 90% of people, I mean, almost everybody I know has woken up at some point and been like, where am I? You know what I mean? And that just consistent stuff. But then like with that same point, like I know so many people who've like woken up with that feeling of where am I, and then had the coolest pillow talk, morning after talk that have been like, okay, you're like awesome. Like I want to do this again. And then it burrows or it builds into like something bigger. And like suddenly that person can move from that box of, you know, that's where you see some box
I think
shifting.
the secret to box moving though is that
box
especially
moving is
if
such a funny term. It just sounds like a sex euphemism. Yeah, dude, I'm doing some box movement. She loves my box movement. Yeah, that's so good. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's it though. It's all pillow talk and
pillow talk's big.
Being a positive energy. Once the booze and the awkwardness has worn off, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
I think that's huge.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about with music festivals, Joe?
So I have a confession to make.
where this is a safe space. We're all about making confessions here.
You invited me on a trip to Mexico for a music festival.
Oh.
And I was a little bit hesitant about it because I just don't see the appeal. Like I want someone to explain the value of going to a music festival to me. Have you been to Coachella?
Yeah, I've been like 9 times.
Is it worth it?
It was the first like 3 years, and I would say probably the last year was really fun, but like it wasn't because of the festival.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think it depends the festival you go to makes it. Like Outside Lands in San Francisco does a really good job. Coachella does a shit job now. So that's a big part of it. The appeal of music festivals. If I were a single late 20s or
put it like this. If you would have just said we're going to Cancun, no music festival, like left that out, it would have appealed to me more. Because the music festival is an added expense, and to me comes off as that's going to be the annoying part of the trip.
If I was in your shoes, no, I would argue that's the better part. For the reasons, God, I'm going to get killed for this. It's a higher concentration of just like people funneled into one place.
Okay.
Well, if it's done well, it'll be good, right?
Yeah.
If it's done well, it'll be fine. What's better about this one more than other ones, from my understanding, the issue with this music festival is they're giving no fucking information out. So I have no idea how good it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm not the same partier I don't party the same way that I did like 3 years ago. So like my understanding of it and the way things happen changes a little bit. That said, like, I don't know, like there's music festivals are fun because for a myriad of reasons, like you get to meet new cool people, like the vibes are good. Everyone's high energy, really good spirits. Food for some people is great. Like
food I can tell you why. Festival.
Yeah, it's usually pretty good. Depends where you go, right?
Okay,
like, am I going to tell you that this one's going to be good? Probably fucking not. Like
it's Mexico.
This is a beach party, basically, right? Like this is going to be, I wouldn't go as far as Fire Festival, but like it's going to be 2 stages with like a bunch of people dancing and like probably like a shit ton of drugs. We'll probably be maybe the oldest people there. Like, I don't know. I'm just going in with like, I know nothing.
Yeah. I think it's like this stress of like being, I'm also like kind of a music snob when it comes to like to me, like seeing a DJ on a stage and like that kind of music like just doesn't get me going.
So like, this is why you're asking.
And then everyone's on drugs, and that just makes it sound stressful.
2 questions. No, it's not stressful. You're asking 2 questions. So like, Coachella is a very different festival. Coachella, Outside Lands, Austin City Limits, Bonnaroo, like all those are all different festivals than what this is probably going to be, right? The music is one portion of it. The reason it's a festival is because there's multiple stages with different artists playing real music, playing guitars, all that stuff. And then also on top of that, you're going to have certain tents for like different kind of craft beer, for like if you're in Outside Lands, like Weed Lands. And like they have different events, a comedy tent. They have like special promotions if you're
it's like a carnival.
It's basically, there's a shit ton. It's a millennial carnival. So there's all this cool shit to experience if you know where to go. Like, it's really fun. Coachella has the Do Lab, which is basically like, you might hate it, but it's just like they spray you with these misters. Back in the day, it was a lot better. Spraying you with misters, and like you're just dancing to like deep house. Majority of people are on drugs, but it's still just like everything just kind of vibing together with like the mix of like dancing your face off while it's like 102 degrees while you're getting misted is just like, and there's beautiful people all around you. It's like, it's hard to explain, but it's a euphoric feeling of like amazement, right? So that's the Coachella piece. There is a lot there. There's more. It is a carnival. This, I don't know what we're going into, but it's essentially like, from what I understand, probably more like a splash house, which like haven't gone, so I don't know that one. But like, it's kind of like beach. It's going to be fun. You're going to see, I think it's a kind of similar concept though. Like, you're going to listen to good music. I mean, Louis the Child's great. You're going to be in a beach paradise, which with like a bunch of accommodations that are tailored around that. I don't even know if food's included or any of that shit, but like that's the concept. And it's like, I think similar, like I don't know what it's going to be like, but it's that similar euphoric of we're playing on amazing weather, or sorry, like, amazing. You're in paradise with beautiful people all around you. Honestly, like the responsible people you won't even know they're on drugs. Yeah. Like, they look normal.
I think this is probably a misconception, but I just have this thing in my head that it just sounds exhausting. No, like, man. I think of it like just bumping extremely loud music all day, and there's no break, and you're out the entire day, and then you got to go out again at night, and it just sounds.
You don't have to go out at night. I mean, I think the beauty of it is that there's something tailored there for everybody, right? Like, if you're looking for like a chiller experience, if you're too zonked on drugs and you need to chill, there's a chill tent. You know what I mean?
Chill tent.
Like they don't call it that. There's usually like a cooler name, but it's like you just kind of, you sit with bean bags. They have cool imagery. It's just very serene, and they play nice music. So if that's kind of what your vibe happened to be, you can go in there. They'll have like, if you're like on psychedelics, they've got specific tents at like Odessa curated, like this like sound show with fucking Bose speakers, and it's amazing light show. Or if you're a music purist, which is why I fucking hate the new way Coachella's done compared to like 7-8 years ago. So when we first went, like 2013 or so, it was amazing because it was like you could get to the front of every stage and see every artist and not have an issue, versus like when I went in 2020, what am I saying? In 2018, I think was the last one, like right before I moved to New York. And it was like, we had this like weird hodgepodge of like, it took us 45 minutes to get in sometimes to places. Like there was all of this, like, it was just poorly done on their end, where it's like, they just mismanaged it, where like the best part of my stay there was like the group we went with. The house was awesome. Like the people were cool, and like we were all on the same page and having a great time. And we were like walking distance into the venue, which was great. It was mostly just like the way that it was operated was shit. You get in, there's 50 people in your way trying to take pictures, like to be sceney. That shit wasn't around like 10 years ago. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Coachella's a bad example because it's just degraded so much, devolved so much, and how it is. And then they started scheduling the best acts at the same time, so you're choosing between the two people that you paid for to go see live. Outside Lands, I think, does it really well because the thing too is like you can kind of just chill back with a beer. Like I'm sure there's gonna be similar. It's gonna be open, but it's like you can kind of just like you don't need to be in the fucking middle of everything because there's two types of people that listen to these shows, right? There's the people who need to be in the front and are annoying and will wait 8 hours at the main stage for their fucking favorite artist and just sit there and they take up space and they're like just get crushed because they're idiots. And then there's the people who are in the back like me who are like, I don't need to be like right there, like touching fucking Frank Ocean. Like you just need to like, I can enjoy him from back here. Maybe like put down like a blanket with my friends and like shoot the shit and like enjoy it from a distance, you know?
Yeah. If I really like an artist, I'm that person who will wait in the front.
My bad. Don't get crushed, dude.
No, I get it. I'm not fully sold.
Have I sold
yet.
you on this? What's your big hesitation?
It's just I don't know if I guess I can't justify I don't know if I can fully justify the like cost and effort of it.
It's not that much effort, especially, dude, if you think about it for this one. I feel like I'm selling you on this now. You're staying at the venue. You can go back to the room at any point. There's no pressure. Like, to be honest, all of the fucking artists suck ass besides, like, I think there's like 2 or 3 names I know on that head and that.
Yeah, that's
that
another
header.
that's another
so it's like,
reason that
I feel no pressure to go see anybody besides like Louis the Child and like maybe 3 other names. Like everything else is going to be like probably us at a bar, us like on the beach relaxing, maybe at the pool. Like
But that's what I'm saying. It sounds fun, but you don't.
It's going to be.
But the
epic.
music festival is an unnecessary.
Oh no!
part.
I would say the music festival is an accessory to the trip. It's not the.
Yeah.
You know.
Isn't that what you're paying for
event.
though? I guess.
Yeah, it's all inclusive technically. No, I don't think the whole thing is all inclusive, but like the trip the festival includes a room and like shit like that.
Yeah. All right, real quick. Have you seen the Netflix doc Money Explained?
No.
It's like I think it's like a 6-part series. Each series is like something about money. Like there's one about the stock market, there's one about gambling, there's a whole bunch of different stuff.
Okay.
But there's an episode on retirement. And it was basically the episode was just talking about the process of retirement, how it's changed over time. And then it was saying that we're in a crisis now, that none of the millennials are going to have enough money to retire when the time comes.
Heard this theory.
And what it was saying is that when a lot of people retire, a lot of old people will go into nursing homes or retirement communities. And my family actually just went through this with my grandparents. They like, my granddad had like a little farm like in the town we grew up in, and towards the end my like aunt and uncle moved in, and because they were getting like a little too old to run it, and then they were like kind of miserable, especially because they like they had like my aunt and uncle there, like kind of like they were like their babysitters kind of.
Oh, wow.
And then they went off to the nursing home and the retirement community, whatever you want to call it, and now they seem like much happier because they're like around a bunch of older people. There's like a community around it. They have like new friends, and like that's what it was showing in this documentary. It was like all these old dudes hanging out, like shooting the shit and playing golf, and they're like happy because they live in this community with each other, right? And they have like friends now, and they hang out, and it's all people their age that they have stuff in common with, right?
Fascinating. Yeah.
And what Herb and I were discussing is that in college and then like after college, we live in houses with a bunch of dudes we're friends with, and we all just have a bunch of fun, and we go out, and then there's this middle part of life when you're supposed to live on your own and
or with your partner, and then
live alone or with your immediate family, and then eventually it all circles back to living back in a community. And we were just wondering why that is. Like why don't we have like little pods of families that all live together in a community? Like wouldn't it be better that way?
If you think about it, a family is a pod. Just a pod that you have a patriarch kind of leading.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because it's funny as you were
but
talking.
But the thing is, I think a lot of
men
men get like, or men and women probably, I think when they get to that stage, I think they become like friend deprived a little bit. you know?
Yeah. I mean, life happens,
Yeah.
right? Like you get busier, and I mean, that's why people get divorced too, right? It's like, it's so hard to focus the same attention on one thing, that there's so many aspects of life like you focus on.
Yeah.
You know, you try to, yeah. Anyways, that's actually fascinating. When you were saying that, I kind of thought in my head, like, it all kind of comes back to living in this like communal.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you think about it,
And
too,
the argument is are people happier living on their own, or are they happier in a little community? Which I think I'm happier in a community.
I think it's your stage of life, right? I think it's kind of funny. So it's almost like chicken or egg in some weird convoluted way, where it's like you start, your life tells you, society tells you, you have to live alone. You get like, when you're in your 30s, I'm a fucking prime example of this, you just get like over things impacting your life that are kind of small, like dishes in the sink with like a group house. Fucking like, I don't know, like TVs being on, like clothes that aren't yours in the living space, things
Does
like
that. Really bother? That stuff doesn't really bother me that much.
It bothered me when in the shared house I was in, and it bothered like 3 other of the housemates that were like, let's do it, let's go. Yeah. So like all of that kind of goes back to I think like you kind of feel like you're ready. Society tells you should like find yourself, live on your own, like it's fine, start the family. But like if you're someone who's in between, like you're not really like married, but you're a little over the group house dynamic, you live alone. And then you know, raise a family together. And then I think by retirement, like it's that phase of like, I have no responsibilities. I've saved up all this money through my career and working. Like I'm going to go travel or go do what makes me happy and do whatever I want. But then like you lose that sense of community. I mean, you've been deprived of other people for like 40 years and learned to live a certain way, that you realize when you hit that old age, you're just like, really, like all I wanted was deeper companionship more than one person. You know what I mean? Like, dude, 40 years of marriage listening to one fucking person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like the best advice, like some advice I've gotten for like a marriage has been like, make sure you stay, like you reserve time for your friends. You know what I mean? Like have a guys' night once a week, have like this, have that. And like, it's not easy, but it's like, I do think that there's value in doing that for both partners, that having that like,
yeah, I agree.
that segue where it's like, now in this community, like if you're lucky, like you'll still have your best friend and your significant other, but you also have outlets where it's like you and like Roosevelt can go like play Gene Rummy, you know, and like fucking like Donkashay or whatever. I don't know.
That's actually that thing you just said is actually a perfect segue into our last segment.
Oh no.
Ask Amar anything.
Oh Jesus. I can't tell you how unexcited I am for this fucking
So we had people submit questions on Instagram, and I'm just gonna go through. I highlighted some of the good ones.
I hate you.
So we're just gonna run through these.
I did approve.
First one, speaking of what we were just talking about. I hate doing dishes. Can you offer advice?
This sounds... If I had to guess, I've got a list of 5 people, including my old all my old housemates, that said this. You hate doing dishes. I hate doing dishes too. So, one option that if you really want to, you can buy paper plates and plastic utensils if you really fucking hate it. I personally haven't done it in a year and a half.
You haven't done dishes in a year and a half?
No, I haven't bought plastic. No, it's not true. Not a year and a half. I haven't bought plastic utensils since I moved into my new house. Mm-hmm. It was a mechanism to not have to do dishes for other people in a house of like 5 people.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm sick of running the dishwasher every day and clearing it every day. And so I'm just going to buy plastic utensils and paper plates because I can't fucking do this anymore. I have a job. So I was just like losing it.
Yeah.
And so that was that's a good fucking question.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You know what my philosophy on dishes is?
Get a dishwasher.
We have a dishwasher. But when it comes to leaving dishes in the sink, if there's no dishes in the sink, I won't be the person that leaves the first one if someone else leaves a dish in the sink, I'm throwing mine in there too. That's how I am with it.
I think there was something like that in the house. I mean, like, yeah, no, that's the problem, Joe. You're part of the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. It builds up, and then it becomes a shit show. And then the other guy goes, well, that's not mine. That's somebody else's. And then nobody cleans it because it's a dish thing full of everybody else's plates.
When I go to other people's houses, that's like one of the first things I notice is if there's dishes in the sink.
Oh, yeah, it's gross.
It's like, it's the number one tell of
like, my parents always like were really good about dishes. So for me, it's like a very like, and this is what you were asking, like, is it really an issue or like a weird thing? Like, it just wasn't really around at our house. And so for me, like, I get very like, I don't like dishes in the sink. Like in the new house, I don't think I've had a dish in my sink for longer than 24 hours once.
Yeah.
It just drives me
that's
insane.
good.
Like I will stay up late tonight. There's currently a Tupperware in my sink from lunch today. I will stay up if it takes me till midnight to make sure that all those utensils and the dishes are washed.
Yep.
That's how psycho I am about it.
All right.
Sorry.
Next question. Next question. All right. Is a projector a good investment?
Can we call Vinay? Can we ask a friend?
Believe it or not, this actually was not from him.
A projector's a great investment. I think, look, sometimes you just want to watch the game in like a really big picture and high definition, and like it just adds a different element. Yeah. I think I like my projector. Will I have my projector when I'm 40 and have kids? Probably not. But for now, why not? Adds to the bachelor pad.
All right.
Projectors fuck.
All right, next question. The Pentagon recently released a report that the military spotted UFOs. Do you think aliens are real?
Loaded question. Do I think alien life is real? Yes. They have found alien life could be life not on Earth, things growing on Mars. Alien life, yes. Do I think there are other beings in the universe? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Same thought.
Maybe.
Next question. When did Amar first find out that iPhones send group text differently than Androids?
Oh my God. I know exactly who sent this. So funny story. I was a freshman might have been a senior or junior in college. And I got wasted one night. And at the time, I think I was using, I don't know if I switched to a flip phone or it was the old iPhones the way they did it. And I fired off about 13 texts or so to women that I had like somewhat talked to, not even like hooked up, but just like talked to.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like young, changed a lot. And I blasted off a text, and instead of going to one person separately, it went to a group chat. And so I got a flurry of, are you joking? You're a piece of shit. Have fun by yourself. And I think one person texted me on the side and like said, what's up?
Did you have an iPhone?
Yeah, but I think like this was a new thing. Like either they changed the way it was set up.
Yeah, I guess it was.
There was
like
a while.
back then, yeah.
I mean, like this was when iPhones weren't like there's when they had like just first come out. So I think there was a while where they were sending as like you could send a group text and it would go to different people separately, but they weren't group chats.
Yeah.
And so like I fired that off, and
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was
I love that.
Better moments.
Does Amar wear mascara to get his lashes like that?
I do not. Thank you, Carmen. It's genetics. I love it. Lucky man.
Do you have any burning questions you've never asked Joe but have been dying to ask?
Oh, did you submit this one?
No, someone else did.
Oh, God. The burning questions I want to ask Joe. Joe. If you could have no arms or no legs, which one would you choose and why?
Probably no arms. At least I could walk.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Better than a sandwich. I don't want to insult it by calling it a sandwich.
Have you ever pooped your pants?
Of course. Which Disney movie contributed most to your latent childhood traumas?
Oh my God.
It's actually a good question.
That's a great fucking question. Yeah, I know there's one out there, but I'm not gonna remember it.
Lion King was scarring for
I was
me.
gonna say, yeah, probably Lion King. Like watching Simba die, like I definitely cried.
Yeah.
James and the Giant Peach fucked me up. Is that Disney?
I think.
That one
Close
scared the
enough.
shit. I remember
Yeah.
that was like one of the first movies I was ever like crying of fear when the woman takes an axe to hit like James, his like aunt or whatever. That one was pretty traumatizing. Cruella de Vil was scary.
Oh, yeah.
Really scary. I always liked that Aladdin and Hercules seemed like Playboy, so I guess that kind of like bravado.
That inspired you.
Yeah. So that helps the childhood trauma.
Yeah.
That leads to now.
All right.
It's a great fucking question.
There's two more, but
Oh,
this one is definitely my favorite.
Oh no.
It says, how do you activate your inner alpha wolf? Please use specific examples if possible.
Inner alpha wolf.
I love this. I know exactly what he's kind of asking.
Okay, now that you've just said that, that gave me a clue. All right, I would say don't give a fuck. Like, honestly, you have to think a lion doesn't concern itself with the thoughts of sheep. Like, you're the fucking champion, you're a king, you fucking earn this moment, and everything you've ever done has led up to this. If someone says no, or if someone tells you there's a wall, you say, fuck it, I'm going to find a way to get through it and past it, well, that kind of sounds a little depending on the situation. But in other words, no and limitations aren't permanent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if someone says no, you just move on to the next thing. Like, there's just, you have to have the mentality that you're bigger than any one situation, and you just kind of know one thing defines you, you fucking go. You're a king, you're a champion, be the biggest person in the room, you're all that matters.
All right. Besides that rah-rah speech.
Yeah, sorry. Run through a wall!
Do you,
Just do it!
you don't have any, because I've seen you, and one time, your old roommate, he called you, we were in an Uber, and I shouldn't even say this because your head's going to get too big, but he referred to you as Captain Charisma.
Ooh, I've heard this lately.
Yeah. Do you, is that something that just comes naturally to you? Because I've seen you like turn it on before. You're good at it.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I think it's just from experience. Like, the way I've learned is like just talking to people, you kind of figure out what people kind of react to and find commonalities. And I think it's just kind of, honestly, the biggest thing is listening. Like, people, A, love to hear themselves talk. So you just listen. And B, just ask prodding questions that are centered around them. And I think those are kind of really two good basis points that kind of get people excited and jazzed. And then I think just like having a general knowledge, like one of the best people I know, actually it's funny, my roommate I'm talking about, he has this amazing way of connecting with people that is based on the foundation I found of like just knowing random things. So,
yeah,
like,
that helps.
He
like
can connect with anybody because he's
having random interests.
And he told me something funny. He's like,
things.
My parents made me read the encyclopedia like from front to back to learn random shit. And it's like, so like, it's things like he'll know about wood carpentry, but then we'll like also tell you about like heavy rock metal. And then we'll also talk to you about like martial arts.
He's a Renaissance man.
And he's also one of the most intelligent people I know. But
Yeah.
it's also just like one of those funny things where it's like, I've seen him connect with people on shit like the Tokyo economic like climate and shit like that, where you're sitting there and you're like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, I just throw in YouTube videos about like random events in the world and shit, just to build the base of knowledge.
He's a learner.
He's fascinating. He impresses me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got any other burning ones?
I think it's a combo of that and then just keeping your filter low.
I do find it fascinating you said the Captain Charisma thing, because I never fancied myself. So I was at dinner last week and they were like, you make a really good first impression and this and that. And like, I've never fancied myself as that kind of person.
Yeah.
Which I find like interesting to hear it from like the opposite perspective. Like,
yeah. See, I was the opposite. I was like a like I grew up like kind of a sheltered kid.
Yeah.
So I had to like learn this. Like I've like consciously like learned a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I was curious if it like just came to you or you like practice it.
A little bit of both. I mean, you pick up things too, right? Like,
Yeah. You see
I
what
think-
what people react to.
Yeah. I mean,
The main thing I
being
found
sociable.
moving to New York is when you when people ask you questions like where are you from or what do you do? Like I try to give like, especially if I'm trying to like hang out and talk to people, or if it's someone that I want to get to know, I try to just give more context and detailed answers.
Well, and too, I mean, like maybe you're like me, where like I feel like I'm an introverted extrovert. God, I feel like everybody fucking says that, but like I don't always have 100% energy. A lot of the times,
Yeah,
like,
neither
sometimes
do
I just
I.
want to like fucking like kick
Yeah.
it and just stay in like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And like force myself out. But like, it's just funny that kind of what you're saying. It's sometimes two techniques that I use that I found helpful is think about questions you're going to ask ahead of time and have an answer prepared, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'll go into
exactly.
social situations and like, if you ask me something and I'm not ready for it and you're not someone I know very well, I'll stumble over my words because my brain's rapidly trying to process what I think I should say and what I want to say at the same time. And it comes out as blah, 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 like, blah, blah. What do you do for a living? I'm a financial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, I'm in media, you know, like you just stumble because your brain's processing all the different types of answers you can say.
Yep.
So I'd say like, have a plan ahead of like, what do you want to talk about? Or like, if you have your pair, like, what are you going to get asked and what are your answers? So like, a great one is like, my favorite bar changes in New York all the time, but I already know I'm going to say Wolfie and Nell. So
Yeah.
whenever I get asked like, oh, what's your place? Wolfie and Nell, the vibe, this and that. Like I have basically something prepared that like, I don't have to think.
Yeah.
It's just like a pre-prepped, like hot, like I know what people care about. You don't need to give you a long-winded answer on like how the ambiance and the lighting makes this like romantic, you know,
Yeah.
scene. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's great because of these XYZ things. And you're like, oh, cool. Like, seems like a happening place.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, like David Beckham was there. Bah. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I used to, when I was like really trying to codify this, I had like, I probably have them still written down somewhere, but there's like 4 or 5 like basic questions that people ask when they meet
Yeah.
you. Like I did this like when I first moved to New York. It was like, where are you from? What do you do? I forget what they are. There's like 5 of them. And like when I answer, I try to like, instead of saying, oh, I'm from Pennsylvania, I say like, I'm from Pennsylvania and what part? Where the Amish live. Like you probably heard me say that before.
Yeah, 100%.
Like just giving more context that
Yeah.
people can like grab onto.
but your first time
And
getting
they-
asked that question, what did you probably fumbled it.
Yeah, or I
Right?
just said Pennsylvania, and they're
Yeah.
like, that doesn't give me, you want to give people stuff to cling on to,
Yeah,
so the conversation goes forward.
totally.
I should like review that. That'd actually be like I remember I actually like wrote a bunch of stuff down.
I'll send you this. I think this is a good one too. Headway. I got an ad from an app called Headway that's like has a list of like 13 readings you could do in 1 minute to help you be better with people. I haven't looked at it yet, but I feel like that's it's like to make you seem more impressive, or like it's like
Yeah.
that's one of the things I plan to use next. Headway is a good app that just like collapses a bunch of like different books into like a Spark Notes, things like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it's just like it has a weekly reading you can do to become a better, personable, like charismatic. So I found that interesting. So maybe I'll come back with notes. I just
Yeah.
don't know when to make the time to fucking do that.
Yeah, I could do if I had prep, I could do a whole podcast on this kind of stuff.
Do you have any other good ones?
All right, we have one final one.
Oh no.
And hopefully people don't listen this far into the podcast to hear this one, but I'm going to go for it because I thought it was hilarious. Your dick is inside your mom and your dad's dick is in your ass. Which way do you move to escape?
Hold on, can you repeat that one more time?
Your dick is inside your mom and your dad's dick is in your ass. Which way do you move to escape?
This is hard. I guess up. I don't know.
Side to side, front to back.
I would think up, right? Like up would get him out of. Oh,
That's so bad.
that's a terrible question.
Such
I
a
hope
good
whoever
question.
sent that finds Jesus. That is horrible. Yikes, dude.
All right, with that, We're out.
Oh, peace.
See you in a couple weeks.
Send your questions to us via the gram and Twitter and all that mess.
Yeah, we'll do another one.
Peace out. Go Lake Show.